Hello, guys. Thank you for being here with me. We are doing a watercolor piece today, one that I drew out in Procreate. She is maybe a new character. I've been toying around with different kind of hair in each version of drawing and different, but m- maybe a new original character. But anyway, she's got a snake, and this was around Valentine's Day. Tell by the hearts in the snake and even in the snake's eyes. And so what you're seeing right here is I am getting a skin tone going. That is the Winsor and Newton portrait set. So we've got cadmium red in there and the cadmium yellow pale, I believe. And so what I'm doing is mixing up a regular, just a kind of base skin tone, and then adding a little bit of water. So I've got a lighter one, and then at the top little square, I'm adding some indigo and burnt sienna, so that I've got more of a shadow. And there, I'm just kind of using the card, making sure they look the way I want them to look before I add more water and add more of it that I've kind of got around the right shade color. So it's been a while since I have done a watercolor piece. I've been playing around, especially into this first year, but even the end of last year, um, with more gouache, with markers, all kinds of stuff. So it's been about like 6 to 8 months, I think, since I've done a watercolor. And it's me doing things a little differently than I would normally do. For example, here I'm starting to go in with her skin tone. And normally I would have wet all everywhere where the skin tone is gonna go. Um, and I just went right in with the watercolor here, which is not bad. It's just a different way of doing things. So a lot of times I put everything with the skin tone and then go in with the lighter skin tone and everything is so light. I end up having to do another regular skin tone layer. So it's kind of good trying things out this way. I think next time I will definitely wet the everywhere where the skin tone is going to go, wet it, but then start with a or not so much water in the color because there's so much water in the paper. That way you're getting some good skin tone going and not having to go right in, trying to do less layers. I think the more layers you get away with, the less overworked things are. So I am putting skin tone all over, and then once I kind of get that light, and this is the skin tone with a little bit more water in it, starting with the first layer. I always want to start off lighter. 'Cause you can't, um, it's not so easy to go backwards if you go darker than you'd like in certain areas. So what I'm going to do is get it everywhere on her face. And then I'm going to pull off some of the colors and highlights and kind of make sure some of the darker areas have a little bit more of the skin tone color. And there you can see I'm lifting the napkin is just kind of out of the screenshot. That's what I'm doing as I go off the screen is getting, blotting the brush on the napkin so I could go in with more of the highlights on there. So I don't very often do a mock study of it. I really think that, especially with this piece, I think that maybe that's something I should start doing a little bit more this year, especially because I could show you guys, especially number one, when it's coming from Procreate, I could easily, um, just print cut onto uh, not like the Arches paper, but something that I could print like 4 or 5 versions of it, do a loose color, and I could even, do a poll and see which way you guys think it should go. But my point is that it's sometimes hard if you don't, I always kind of had a loose plan of what colors and what everything's going to be And sometimes it was kind of a loose plan with a couple different things. Like for instance, here I kind of have a loose plan of having either grayish, darkish, grayish kind of, or even black hair, but I didn't really like have anything concrete. So here I'm going in with some shadows, I think, while I'm kind of deciding. But hey, I'm liking the moon glow and liking that look with the purpley blue kind of color. And then I decided to go like almost a little bit more violet with her hair, and it looked really cool. The problem is with the snake, with so in my head, I think everything was a little bit more muted as well, and so that's why it's so good to do those studies because you can kind of see watercolor are these two things that you had ideas of clashing when you don't paper. Because as I'm doing the colors, you'll see the snake. I go pretty bright red with the hearts and stuff like that, even though the base of the snake is more like a buff titanium bottom and like a potter's pink and buff titanium on the top, which probably would do that a little differently. Texture of it, I wasn't like 100% happy with. I mean, it was interesting, um, but and I did it thinking that they would give a good texture, but I just don't know that I like the texture that came out of there. But I just think it would be a really good thing to maybe do in the future as color study. You'll see as it evolves, kind of what I'm talking about, like different colors, and kind of liked each element on its own, but I was kind of losing want everything to kind of blend together. And I think by the end it did. Um, but in the directions that I was going throughout the piece, it was kind of not always not everything wasn't always going together. Ways to the end, if that makes sense, if I'm making sense at all. So I'm doing the hair, and what I'm trying to do is, as you can see, is like in the darker shadow parts, I'm trying to get some of the dark shadow in there, and making sure there's highlights where the highlights would be on the hair, and not so much putting strands in there, but getting the darks, starting to get the darks in the dark areas and lighter parts in the lighter areas. So some of it I'm leaving blank. Some of it I am going and doing the blotting technique that I was kind of doing with the skin tone at the beginning. So once I go all over that, then I'm going to go in with the next shade, which is where I kind of go more towards the violet, which I think looks really cool, but I don't like the violet look with the alizarin crimson mixed with powder's pink stuff with snake at the bottom. So I am going to let you guys watch for a little while, and I'll jump in here and there as I feel like there is stuff to say. Oh, also, I guess before I do that, I'll put up on the screen. Love for you guys to like and subscribe. If you are enjoying any of this, it would definitely help the channel out. Also, I'll put on there Instagram and the other things, so you can find me on some of the other places. I would love to have you join me on all the places. That way, you're involved in all the stuff that I've got going on. And so, again, I will jump back in as I think of anything that I want to make sure you guys are. I just want to kind of, tell you guys things as I'm thinking them. I like to know when I'm watching somebody do something. I'm always kind of wondering, what's going on in their head. What are they aiming at and stuff. And so that's why I get a little synopsis. I don't want to try to talk you off the whole thing. Oh, but if you guys want to maybe draw this and want a like the basic sketch that I had from Procreate, let me know. My site should be up soon where you can go and download it. But until then, if you send me a message or even just on here, add a comment and say that you'd like it, I can email you. Again, thank you for being here.